remember that whole Universal v. Corley thing. You remember the whole DeCSS thing. It's still around and they're still trying it. They're just trying it now with AI instead of DVDs. Because as they said directly, fair use is not a defense. That's what they want to do, cut off fair use at the knees. Fair use has never been held to be a guarantee of access to copyrighted material. What's he citing? Boom, Corley. Yep, Universal v. Corley, quoting Judge Lewis A. Kaplan. The only way you can have fair use is if they let you. No! Fair use is always unauthorized. That's the point of fair use. And access control, usually when sensible people use the term, is like having to put in a password or something. But as we see here, now they're going to define it so broadly it means anything. Control means to exercise restraining or directing influence over. Thus, a measure that restrains, directs, or influences access qualifies as an access control. So then, anything is an access control. We're talking about hitting the F12 key and copying a link. There is no access control there. If you're making a normal, everyday HTTP GET request, I want this video, and YouTube's server says, okay, here you go. There's no access control there. It just gave it to you. Through this system, YouTube controls how users may interact with or access copyrighted works, restricting other forms of access such as offline playback, mobile playback, ad-free viewing, evasion of territorial and age restrictions, and direct downloads. In other words, it's a copy control, not an access control. So they define access control so broadly, it encompasses copy control. So why does the law have a distinction to begin with? Suno deliberately picked this lock. It's not a lock! It's a picture of a lock drawn on in crayon. Suno circumvented YouTube's encryption. There's no encryption. Being able to get it with a simple GET request means you have access. This is how they're going to completely cut off fair use. If what you're doing is fair use, if your ultimate use is fair, it doesn't matter how you got it. And that was a big reason for all the protests of the DMCA when it came out, is because it cut that off at the knees. And I'll remind you that the only way Judge Kaplan could get to that horrible decision is by denying that computer code was a form of speech. Well, what are we talking about here? We're talking about songs. Songs are a form of speech. So do you see how one bad precedent leads to others? Suno, according to the plaintiffs, cannot claim fair use now because of this. All you anti-AI people, what do you have to say about this? How can you possibly justify this?